Today, I'm going to be very serious because I'm going to talk about one specific camera. And this is the one and only Olympus PEN-F. Hi, it's Cheng here from RED35 and welcome back to Retrospective Series. Today, we are going to look at the legendary Olympus PEN-F. In this video, we are going to look at the camera design in general and why it is such a special camera, not only back then, and also here and now, 2024. The original Olympus digital PEN-F was announced in 2016, some 8 years ago. People may consider this to be a dinosaur, something that, we can just simply forget about it and move on to something newer and better. However, this is quite the opposite because the digital PEN-F is quite a beast and is more relevant than before in 2024. This is not a review video. In fact, I've done that a few years back. If you haven't seen it, the review is up here. And anyway, today we are going to look at PEN-F as a photographic tool, a design piece, why it is so special and iconic, at least to my eyes, and why it is so special that gravitate a lot of photographers trying to get hold of one right now. In fact, I would compare it to my Leicas. And just like the Leica M, the digital PEN-F hasn't really altered that much when it comes to usability and the design language from the original PEN-F back in 1963. And I really enjoy that kind of rangefinder style camera. And you can see that I have two Leicas right here because I had been shooting Leica since the film days. In fact, this is my original Leica M6 non-TTL. This is original and it is a Panda edition. And also right next to here is also got the digital iterations of the Leica M. So I really enjoy using this type of photography tool for my travel and street photography. And the PEN-F, and I would hate to say that right now, it is one of the best street photography tool I have ever used. And to some extent, sorry Leica fans, better than the Leica M. First, let's take a look at the technology side of it. The PEN-F back in 2016 was the most advanced Micro Four Thirds camera. It has amazing 5-axis stabilization. It has a 20 megapixel live mode sensor, which was the highest at the time. And also the awesome color science together with the contrast detect AF, which was also the fastest at the time. Okay, it lacked the kind of professional grade weather sealing, which is really the only gripe I ever had with this camera. Other than that, this camera still beats a lot of the street style, rangefinder style camera on the market, even in 2024. For instance, well, the IBIS alone still beats anything out there right now. Well, Leica M hasn't got any IBIS. The Q3, yes, it has IBIS, but it's a full frame. It's no match to the Micro Four Thirds 5-axis stabilization. And what about the X100-6? No, you can't compare that either. So the IBIS in the PEN-F still better than all of these cameras I just mentioned. Second is the 20 megapixel live mode sensor. And to me, this is still a very good sensor, even in 2024. Yes, you can't really compare to the latest all-in-one series or the Lumix G9 and GX7 sensors because they are just slightly different. The BSI from OM system and also the 24 megapixel Lumix camera sensors. Well, they are the latest generations of the respective formats, but the PEN-F 20 megapixel sensor is as current as the EM1 Mark III and also the EM1X. Yeah, that is what I'm going to say. But there's one thing that I would like to draw attention is that the older Olympus sensor does give you that very organic, grainy look in the high ISO setting modes, and which I actually prefer. Because, growing up as a film photographer, I'm very used to grains. When you push the film and you're using high ISO film speed, I'm actually totally happy with that. In fact, that gives me some substance in the actual photographic textures. So I really enjoy the aesthetic of it. So shooting high ISO in the older pen cameras or older Olympus camera will give me that aesthetic that I always miss from the film photography. So the PEN-F, in fact, I quite like that, especially when you turn into the monochrome mode. Speaking of monochrome, well, the PEN-F has one trick on the sleeve. It's the front color dial, and that is the one feature that I really miss from any digital cameras to date. Yes, that wheel is cool, and I love it. Together with the back dial, you can actually customize the color filter effects in the monochrome mode together with the actual curve itself. So a couple of adjustments here and there can create a look that you really like when it comes to black and white photography, and something that I think is perfect for those who like street shooting in black and white. And of course, the aesthetic, the design elements of the PEN-F. And just look at it. And every time I look at it, I would just say, God, this thing is beautiful. This thing is gorgeous. It's an art piece. Olympus went through a great deal in designing this camera, and it really showed. And still today, I have no idea how they put together this camera. In fact, there's no visible screw anywhere on the body. And I really don't know how they put them together. In fact, I actually don't know how they're going to take it apart to service it. This is just nuts, right? So it is weird, but it is gorgeous. It is beautiful. It compares very well to the Leicas, which cost 5, 6, 7 times the money. So for those people who think that this thing costs too expensive when it was first announced in 2016, I would say that you haven't seen Leicas. You haven't seen today's prices on the Fujifilm X100 series. This is cheap. This is cheap for what it is. Even when they launch the PEN-F2 in the future, if something does happen, even if they charge me $2,000, adding the weather seal, I would pay for it without a second thought. This would be my go-to camera for sure. Replacing everything that I have, everything. This would be my dream camera. Yeah, I really do hope that they make a second one. I do. And that's the problem. You see, in 2024, there isn't a camera that can directly compare to what the PEN-F offers. Zero. You might say, well, what about the Fujifilm X100? Yes, it is gorgeous. It has the look, no doubt about it. I love it too. But it hasn't got the same technical capabilities what the PEN-F offers. For instance, the amazing 5-axis stabilization. You just can't compare that. And what about the computational stuff? Live bulb, live composite? Nope, it doesn't offer anything like that. And what about the Leica M? Well, forgive me for saying that, even I own one, I would say that it's pretty much an overpriced engineering. It is cool, don't get me wrong. It's a very old school manual focus. It really reminisces the film Leica that I also have. I just think it's a little bit overpriced. Would I spend 7, 8K on a camera like this again? Probably not. One and done. This is for me. And what about Q3? Okay, Q3 is a very capable camera. It's basically an X100, basically, with a Leica badge, with a better lens. But it's still a fixed lens compact camera. For me, I think the PEN-F offers both worlds. The versatility of adapting to other lenses, because it's a micro four thirds camera. You can adapt to all sorts of lenses on the market, including these big beast of tele lenses. I know this is not the ergonomic for those kind of heavy beasts, but I think it is a versatile camera. You can adapt to all sorts of lenses. You can change the focal length, you can change the aperture, as and when you want. This is really cool. And design-wise, it has all the elements from the Leica Q3 and also the X100. It is as gorgeous as any of them. And capability-wise, well, it is as modern as some of the more modern 2024 offerings. IBIS, computational stuff. The only thing is lacking is the weather sealing and also the face detection. But does it matter for you? For me, those are secondary, because at the end of the day, this is still a very, very cool camera. So for that, I personally think the PEN-F will go down in history being one of the most versatile and complete rangefinder digital mirrorless camera ever. There isn't anything like that, full stop. Unless someone makes the Mark II. I can only hope, right? Anyway, I do love the PEN-F. I'm passionate about it. I can talk about it all day long. I can make this video 2 hours long if I really want to, but I know you guys are pressed with time, so I'm trying to make a summary of why I love the PEN-F, why I think this is so unique on its own. This is not a review, like I said. If you want to see what other things that I've talked about the PEN-F, you know, the link is up there earlier. And but anyway, I would like to hear from you, your thoughts about the PEN-F, and whether you own one, whether you want to have one right now, and how passionate about that you want someone to make the Mark II, because I would like to hear from you. And I think this could be a piece that makes everybody jealous, because when you talk about things that I just talked about to other people who own the X106 and the Q3 and things like that, yeah, nothing can compare to PEN-F, even though this guy's 8 years old. Once again, I think Olympus was ahead of its time. Like I said many times, they really thought about future-proofing, right? The PEN-F was a future-proofing piece. Like I said, it is still relevant in 2024. Thanks again for watching this retrospective series. I'm going to continue to talk about all kinds of cameras that I own currently and also in the past. So hopefully you enjoy this sort of content. And if you do, remember to subscribe. And also give me a thumb if you like this video. So until next time, I will see you all very, very soon. Bye for now. Peace out. Welcome back to the bonus sections, and yes, I truly adore the PEN-F. It is one of my favorite cameras of all time, and I'm not really taking a mick. You know, it is one of my favorite cameras. I love it. I really, truly love it. I regret I didn't get the silver version as well. You know, this is only the black version, the only one I have. And if I have another chance, I'll probably get the silver version as well, just complete the black and white series. So it is a really cool camera. I love it. I love it. In fact, you know, if I want to try to find a decent copy, you know, almost the same condition as this one's on the secondary market, I'll probably have to spend about £1,000 now. And so it has held its price quite well over the years. And imagine this is 8-year-old, right? And compared to some of the high-end offerings, you know, you lose a lot of money. Leica, you can lose £2,000 or £3,000 easily after 3 years. And the EM1X, you know, I made a video of that previously. And the EM1X, as capable as it is, you know, you can find one in the secondary market for about £600 nowadays. So, you know, the launch price was £2,300, that price, you know. It's a big difference, right? You know, like imagine £2,300, now it's 600, and that's a newer camera than this. So the PEN-F has held this price very, very well over the years. And in fact, most of the pen cameras seems to hold the value quite well, including some of the OMD cameras as well. So it's interesting. All this retro thing is kind of coming back at the moment, and I never expected it, to be quite honest, because the PEN-F wasn't selling as expensive, let's say about 4 years ago, but it has certainly got the Leica X100 effect that this type of camera has kind of bumped up in price because of the styling. But to me, even without that, and I think that if you get a chance and if you're really into what I just talked about, this could be a unique piece that you want to hold on to, and also get hold of one if you can, you know, just to be there as a collection piece. I think that's a cool camera, you know. I don't mind, maybe at one day I will get a beta PEN-F just to shoot around, because this is of too nice a condition now. I just don't want to mess around with this one. And but you know, if I can get a beta one, I probably would just want to get one of those, just shoot around. I don't mind banging around and getting scratched and things like that. So this is a very cool camera to use. I mean, I've used it for a lot in the past, and I kind of semi-retired this camera now because I just don't want anything to happen to it. It really is, because it's such a special camera. But anyway, enough of that trash talk. And well, it says trash talk. I don't know. You can think about it. But anyway, I love it. I love the PEN-F, and like I said, leave some comment down below. Let me know your thoughts about it. Whether you think the same way as me. Until next time, I will talk about something else, and I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.